everybody, and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for August 24th. This is our final deep dive for season 1 of the Institute Investigators. Of course, we do have our review tomorrow at 10, but this is the last deep dive. So yeah, please make sure that you like the video, comment on the video after the fact. It helps. Subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. It's always appreciated. And if you missed it, I did post earlier tonight the show we did with Vigo, who plays Avery, that Scarlet and Karen and I did the other day, pre-recorded. Yay. That's up. And I also put up the interview with Joe, Finn, and Simone, who plays Luke. I still want to call him Finn. Luke, Nikki, and Kalisha. That does have, of course, spoilers for the finale, but that went up, and Jack Bender's interview will be up soon. So yeah, but we got a season 2. But for now, I guess we're gonna break down the finale, which I guess not everybody was happy about. A lot of people have a lot of nitpicks about it. So yeah, I don't know. How do you feel after watching the final episode, Scarlet?
Well, first I felt sad because we mentioned the interview with Vigo, but I don't think Vigo's going to be coming back. Not even in like a ghost form.
Yeah.
But overall, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Well, that was my one thought.
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, we didn't see him die. I guess there's always a chance that he could come out of it, but
yeah, I guess that Julia could like get past the earthquake and the building falling upon itself and everything, and not look like she was bruised at all, like hitchhiking across the country or whatever she's gonna do.
Yeah, she has more of a bruise still from when Luke punched her than she did
from
the building.
Which is like, I mean, plus she was just kind of sitting on the dust, kind of like watching all the cracks go in the wall. It wasn't like she was like, she wasn't diving out a window or anything.
No, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of have a problem, and a lot of people did, with why Avery stayed behind, that they didn't really explain that. And it didn't make tons of sense.
Like not enough, like what you said, they need a couple more episodes for that character development.
Yeah, I think that there are so many things that feel like they're missing. Not that are a mystery, but that feel like they just dropped out.
They're just missing, like missing scenes.
Yeah, it does feel like there's a lot of them. So hopefully season 2 will clear some of them up, but I don't know. I mean, it's a new season, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
I just, as I said previously, I think that where this story could go is interesting. It depends how they do it. So I'm kind of excited to see where they go. And like I've been saying, season 2, they won't have the restrictions of the book. So season 2 could technically be better than season 1, and maybe people like it more. I don't know. But
because following the rules, I mean, they didn't save the lady they didn't kill a lady that was supposed to roll off the road. Isn't this going to be Apocalypse?
Yeah. Look, I would think that there are a lot of different things that lead to the apocalypse, and that there's other chances. But yeah, they make it like it's dire, and they have one chance. So
yeah, they missed the keyhole, and now it's like, next season's just going to be like despair and doom and no trees. Like Julia was saying, no trees.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe
take a look trees now, everybody.
Yeah, I look, there are, I'm not saying there aren't plot holes, there are. And I think that I keep saying it. I think that if they'd had like 1 or 2 more episodes, it could have been a lot better. Overall, I liked it, but there are problems. So yeah, we'll have to see how they, I guess, decide to move forward. But all right, well, let me get up my picture here. All right, so we start off back at I was gonna say, whose house is this? Wendy's house, I guess. Think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, where she's finally handcuffing Sigsbee there.
Finally.
Finally.
Yeah, she could have had a weapon easy, man.
Yeah, but she's definitely on her side. And again, that's kind of like, there's so many things that seemed like they were going to be threads of things that were nothing. Like, why did she smoke? Like, I thought maybe she was going to poison herself or something when she took a cigarette, or that there was some kind of, I don't know, hidden.
What, took a cigarette out and put it back in?
Yeah, last episode when I was thinking she smoked it, but she took a cigarette, and you're right, she stuck it
Yeah,
back.
she took it out, put it back in the pack. I don't know. That was nothing burger, I guess.
I guess not. Yeah, see, there's little things like that that seem like they had a purpose and didn't. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But Wendy is full on Tim's side now. So at least that's good. That she, isn't
Mm-hmm.
gonna at least I wouldn't think at this point they couldn't turn around and change that. But she seems to be
Yeah.
on the good side.
Potential
Um,
romantic interest in season 2.
yeah, well, I guess she is a romantic interest in the book, so that's kind of why
Yeah.
they put that
Mm-hmm.
in there, but they haven't really had time to develop that at all. But yeah, this scene is pretty much uh, Tim telling he's telling her that like he's basically telling her he doesn't believe her because he says he wants to hear her give that speech to the real FBI. So
Fair.
Tim isn't buying anything she's selling at this point. But Luke keeps getting dizzy in the middle of these conversations they're having because Avery, and again, and I said this last week, like, it seems strange to me that all of a sudden his powers seem way, way stronger. And I get if the box
Mm-hmm.
did it, that's fine. But if the box did it, then why has he been having such a hard time reading Tim's mind? And now suddenly he can apparently see the future again and can talk to them miles away where he couldn't even look into Tim's head, who was standing next to him. So I have a little bit of an issue with that.
Oh, I thought that was the Avery boost. I thought maybe Avery was boosting that.
But even now, I didn't think they were connected to everybody yet, unless I
Mm-hmm.
misunderstood when they connected. I thought that was later, which is why I was confused, like that he's able to hear them now, unless it's Avery.
Well, there was a scene before. There was a scene before when Avery was communicating with him, or he was seeing when Avery was in the box.
Oh, that's true. There was that, but that was again. That did seem. I don't know. To me, seemed a little out of nowhere. It just seems like they're getting stronger, but maybe it's. Yeah, maybe it took a while to get stronger. I don't know.
No, I
Gabrielle
like
said
Gabrielle's other comment about Wendy above that one.
yeah, Wendy felt like she only existed so Tim could use a car. Yeah, just get the poor guy a car instead
That's
of
what I'm
girlfriend.
saying. A couple more episodes would give some of these characters backstories and that we care about them other than like Wendy just being, the car rental.
Yeah, and I think that, at least to me, I think that's part of why I don't care about the characters as much as I should because I don't know a
Mm-hmm.
lot of what's going on. So
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. But yeah, either way, it just seemed to me like he all of a sudden got a little strong. But that's neither
Mm-hmm.
here nor there. He's talking to Avery, who Avery, I guess, is leading Sparkler Night, but Avery's kind of scared because he hasn't done
Mm-hmm.
it before. And Luke's like explaining to him how to use the levers and what to do.
Levers?
You say okay, levers, lever. I say levers.
No, they said levers, and I don't know why they were pronouncing it levers instead of levers. But
It might if it
if
was
anybody in
because
the
Joe
chat
said it.
knows, let me
Is
know.
that a British? No, I was gonna say, is that like more British? I mean, I know you can pronounce it either way, but maybe British people tend to pronounce it that way. I don't know because Joe's British. Yeah, I don't know,
It's
but
Canadian.
he's trying to help. Which, by the way, that reminds me. I think I wrote it down in here. I don't know if I got the screen capture. I meant to, but there is a look he gives in this episode where I so see his father, Martin Freeman, and just the face he makes. Like I've
That's
seen
his
it
dad?
before. Yeah, that's why I said he's British. Yeah, Martin Freeman's his father, and
Oh.
yeah, I don't know. There's like a
No,
look
but
that he
I'm
makes a
saying
lot
the
of times
fact
in the
that
trailer.
the whole lovers thing. I mean, they're supposed to be in the U.S.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They're
No,
supposed to be American characters.
no, you're right. They are. They are. I just was saying maybe that was why he pronounced
Yeah, I
it.
didn't know that was his dad. Okay.
Yep. Martin Freeman, not Morgan Freeman. Martin Freeman. I
No,
said.
but in the face, I can see it now. I can see it in the face.
Yeah, you can. But no, I said that before, and somebody thought I meant Morgan. I'm like, no, not Morgan
No,
Freeman.
I know who Martin
Martin
Freeman is.
Freeman. Yeah,
I
no.
mean, he wasn't that good like comedy. I mean, I know him. I don't know him from The Hobbit.
Yeah, Bilbo Baggins.
As more as I know him from Breeders, which was a comedy show he did, which was really good. It was on Fox.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. He's from that too. I don't know. It's just there's like a weird like look he gives that made me think of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I guess lavery. See, now I'm looking at levers and saying
Lavery.
Okay.
Delivery.
Avery was at first scared to do the sparkler night, and this is again where they don't, he even says later, like when he was talking to Luke, but they never actually showed the conversation. But it even
Of
makes me
course.
think here, Avery seems to be scared, doesn't know what to do to lead Sparkler Night, and then all of a sudden they're holding hands, and he's like saying, you
Get in a
know,
circle.
he's saying what?
Get in a circle.
Yeah, get in the circle, and he says that something about like that, Luke said there'd be a time, and it, yeah, I don't know where that conversation came from, but yeah, after Luke kind of helps him out a little bit there, he has
How does
everybody
Luke know about conducting anyway?
again missing conversation. But I guess just from them telling him about it, I guess. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I totally agree. No, I agree. I totally agree with you. But they're watching these people drive, and they're supposed to be going to crash them, and they have their countdown of however many minutes left to keyhole. I really thought that it was going to end up that the time was a little bit off, and that you were going to find out like this was after they got in the car, and that it was like Tim and Wendy and Joe, or sorry, Tim, Wendy, and Luke.
That would probably
And
a smarter use of this.
yeah, well, thanks. No, I mean it hadn't happened yet, and they were still in the house, so I was a little confused.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
oh, well, this is just
You're
somebody
thinking
else.
like
And
a
I'm not thinking
precog. A precog.
yeah, I thought maybe, I didn't know, and then I'm like, oh, well, that was boring. That was kind of what I thought.
Well, it doesn't matter because now the apocalypse is going to happen because they didn't trash this woman's car. So,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know who she was. They didn't
I'm
explain
assuming
that.
some politician is writing in the back has a
Probably.
driver. Who cares about the driver? I guess it just the drivers are like collateral damage. Pilots are.
I guess so. I guess so.
People's parents are. I mean, it's
Yeah.
amazing how many people die and how many cover-ups they have to do, and nobody investigates this
Nobody
at
ever
all.
notices, right?
Yeah.
They must pay off all the cops everywhere, I guess, too. But they're working together. They're not exactly sure what's going on. I know that Tony is going to stop them, but
yeah.
at one point Hendrik says not to, because they can't break the connection. And then this woman,
I felt bad for this woman because she always seems to have a 1,000-yard stare, and she has a lot of anxiety, and I feel like bad for her that she's even working here. And then something really bad happened to her. She just shook herself to death.
yeah,
Shook herself apart.
they never showed her do anything super bad to them. Does that mean she didn't? No, but they didn't. So I kind of felt a little bad for her too.
I felt she was on a Marine-like level, like the same thing that Marine was going through.
Yeah. I mean, technically she's still letting it happen, so she's still at fault, but I don't know that meant she, deserved to be
shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Yeah, and that was my
take
other
it off
question.
Your arms.
That was my other question to you. Did they rip her apart, or did the hum rip her apart?
I felt the hum just jiggled her apart, like jiggle, 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 and then the arms fell off.
Okay,
I mean, it's weird. There's no joints or sinews or anything keeping together. This like literally just fell off.
I didn't think it was super clear. That's why I was curious what you thought, because it looked like it might have been the hum. It looked like they might have done it out of vengeance. It was hard to tell, and again, not explained.
I'm assuming, though I didn't get to see everything, like we've been saying, the hum. I thought the hum did it to her, like just shook her. I can't say what it just shook her. It shook her hard. It shook her right apart.
Shook her until she fell apart.
Yep.
No, see, this is where it's too bad to play music, because we could play Shake It Off.
Shake it, shake it, shake it. He's just gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake, shake, shake off my arms.
Yeah, not quite that.
My limbs. Yeah, I wish there would have been a scene, like I say with other scenes. I wish there would have been another scene in there, so I would know.
I agree. But yeah, all the ones in the back half start standing up when they're doing this. And Luke sees at this point that there is another institute. This is how he knows that they need to, as he says, use the big phone to, at least I'm guessing that's what that means, is to call these other institutes.
Yeah, this was like a new term that we haven't heard before.
Yeah, and it was very vague the way it was explained.
Big data.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm assuming it means to call everybody, but it was just not explained at all.
Well, there's
But
at least
anyway,
2 of them, right? Because there was one where they spoke Swahili and another one where they spoke Chinese.
it looked like there was at least 3. One of them,
Okay. British
they
one
spoke
then?
English.
I think there was a British one.
I don't know. I got a
It was the one that
picture
was
out.
like, "Hello, governor."
Give me a second. I gotta get a drink.
Because I
Later
know
on,
that those captions said Swahili,
yeah,
Chinese, and English. So English could have been Britain, I guess,
yeah, or somewhere maybe
or
closer by.
Australia.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there's at least 3. I'm assuming there's a lot more than 3 though. I think that they just didn't.
Well, those are the only
Yeah,
ones picked up from the big phone.
yeah. And
The only
again,
ones went to the answer machines.
I think they should have shown more of them. I think even if they
Yeah,
showed, I forget
definitely.
who said this in the chat, like a map, even to show that there was more, it would have.
Hmm.
It
It
would
would
have
have been more immense, but then again, budgetary restraints maybe.
Yeah, but they could have shown a map and like just showed like lights or something, and then we would
Yeah,
know. I don't know, but
the light board's
he goes,
lighting up. It's lighting up with the hum.
yeah, yeah. So Tony goes to tase him, and this is where Nikki says, "How does it says, hey Tony, ever wonder how it tastes?" And he sticks the taser in his mouth and eats it. And look, it was silly, but it was also awesome, right? I thought it was awesome. I enjoyed this scene, even if it wasn't.
I found it hilarious, but probably not for the right reasons. It was just like, what is happening?
Well, yeah, it was a little over the top, but I still liked it. I mean,
It
I
was
think we
over the
were all
top,
waiting,
yes.
but we were all waiting for Tony to get it. So
I wanted Tony to be the hero.
Yeah, no. And then Stackhouse sets off the alarm.
Well, this has got a bunch of stuff graffiti on it. What's the graffiti say?
It's different people who have been there. It looks like. Oh my gosh! Oh no, that says Elise. I thought it said Eloise at first, and I was gonna laugh.
We found her.
But no,
Those
it
are
says
from
Elise. People, it says Elise. It says Elise.
Get your front cards out, everyone.
No, I just thought it to be funny.
That'd be funny. That'd be so funny. Well, it'd be funny if it was like MIY, like Man in Yellow. This road initials.
There could be something there somewhere to be funny, I'm guessing, but I
at least a 4 and a 7. It was Jack Van.
Right. Actors Newman, Brady, Lucas, Eric. I don't know. Different people. But anyway. So yeah. Avery takes the keys off of Tony and they're gonna head out. But Avery says first Luke says they need more power. But we don't,
the power.
He's just sort of isn't connecting to him all the way, but he does say, he's like, with everything that's going on, why are you still running missions? And this is where Sigsbee says, saving the world, you don't get to wait until it's convenient. And Luke has discovered the other institutes, and he asks her why they don't talk about the other institutes. And he's like, you guys fucked up, because he knows now. So yeah, they know, and that is, I guess, one of their fears that apparently they didn't have any contingencies for, that they probably should have. But It is what it is. But meanwhile, Stackhouse is locking everything down, and they finally go back towards recovery. And I think it's Kalisha asks him something like, do you know what was back here? And he said, I think I always knew. But he said he didn't know what they were until Luke told me. Again, where is this conversation? Was this in his head? Was this in real life? But they go
I just love being shown and not told,
Yeah, I know. That part is annoying. And there's the
oh
lady
boy, she shook off her arms. Those are really shooking off arms.
Yeah, it's weird the way she came apart, and they shock them that they're all standing there, just waiting. But Avery does say that they're like the battery, and we can use their power. And this is where I wish, again, and I feel like I'm going to say this so many times tonight, that they had explained things, because I kind of wonder, because of the whole thing with why did Avery stay? Are they like too far gone that they can't come out because they've like lost too much power? Because it seems like they're like, not zombies, but zombie-ish. Like they're very like not knowing what's going on a whole bunch. and they're just the batteries. So I don't know if that was, you were supposed to understand that like they weren't going to get out anyway.
I got confused because they all got up pretty easy, and then they
Yeah,
both
and they
walked
all
into the
walk
other
through
room
the
pretty
tunnel.
easy.
They walk through the tunnel until they need them not to, and then they can't go through
Yeah,
safely.
I mean, it would have been nice if there would have been a little, like, the power, like they can only have so much power, their power is fading.
Yeah. I
Um,
kind of wonder if this is something maybe that was explained a little more in the book. And I'd like to know.
yeah, I've heard the book's good.
Yeah.
I've
But
heard
the
it's one
book,
of King's better, like, later books. So I think some things might be lost in the translation.
maybe. And yet I don't know if maybe some things they're trying to make mysterious, but if they are, I don't think they're doing it in the right way.
Because I was really
Um,
confused when they couldn't move anymore. I'm like, why they moved all over the place? I don't know why they can't.
yeah, you're not the only one who said that. I've seen quite a few people say that. And why did Avery stay behind? Like those are the things that don't make tons of
Because we need a
sense.
hero.
Yeah, and I guess they want a martyr, but it's just kind of like it doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. And like, why? I mean, we'll get into this more when we get there. But why save George and not Avery? Like George, who's done absolutely nothing through the
George
whole
is
show,
hanging
who I
out,
keep
eating everything out of the
forgetting.
vending machine.
Yeah, I keep forgetting he's even there. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the actor. Like he's not gotten a lot to do. It's not his
Yeah.
fault, but he's done okay with what he's been given. But it's like he disappears and then he's just there, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
they rescued George. I forgot about him. Oops.
Hmm.
Uh, Kimberly, who enjoyed the book, does say, "I wish they took a few seconds to
Yeah.
explain a couple of things." Yeah, I think we all do.
Well, see, I
Um,
thought I thought I was missing stuff. I would rewind it just to see and go, okay, I didn't miss anything.
it does feel like it. It
Yeah.
definitely feels like it. But they make it out into the tunnel, and that was the other thing that confused me a little bit was the direction that they went. But we'll get to that once we get a little
Yeah.
bit further. Otherwise, I'm going to get confused. Gabrielle, so they just needed him to die like the books, but an ending where he lived could have been a fun twist. Probably. That's why I said I'm guessing he
Did
dies in
they?
the book.
Did they need him to die because Julia didn't die and she dies in the book?
Does she? I don't know. I haven't read the book, so
They
I
kind of
don't
pick
know.
and chose who lived or died in the thing. They could have picked
I don't.
everyone living.
I don't know, but I still kind of wonder if it's possible that they're not dead. I- Yeah, it's just not. I don't
Well, there's a
understand.
possibility if Julia got out of that mess, somebody else could crawl out of the wreckage and be fine.
Yeah, well, I thought when he was lifting the building, when Luke was controlling lifting the building or whatever, I
Yeah.
thought that like he was going to take it off of them so like they could have oxygen, and that was the whole point to that.
Oh
But then
yeah, yeah, that would
he
have
just
made
smashed
sense.
it back down. So I'm like, okay, well that wasn't that then, I guess. Again, things that were like threads they just didn't explain. Like why did he even look? I get that it wasn't just his power, that they did it too, but like why did he even lift the building? I
Hmm.
Was it
Yeah, I
just too
watched the
pissed?
trailer afterwards, and I was like, why did they show the building being lifted in the trailer? I never saw a
Yeah.
trailer before, and I was like, that kind of gives away a lot. I don't
Yeah,
know
all
why.
these places in the trailer. When I saw it the first time, you just see Luke staring his death stare at the building, and nothing happens because it wasn't. There was no effects. I was happy when
Yeah,
I
but they should have
rewatched
put it
it.
in there in the
They had
first
fixed
place
it.
because then you just know
No,
they
I
all band
agree.
together
I
and
agree.
lifted the thing.
I agree. They
Circled
explained too,
up.
or they told too much in the preview. So this is where they are. You know what? I think is this his panicked look? I feel like I skipped his panic look. I somewhere here I had the picture of
Panic.
whenever. Yeah, no, whenever Stackhouse. Maybe it was this one. No, I don't know. Somewhere here. Maybe I'm mixing up which scene it is. But one of the scenes when he like doesn't expect it, he's got this great look on his face.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this is where he tells them, shut the power down to the tunnel. He's trying to stop them, and
Mhm.
the lights go out. It's like an emergency thing, and um, I noticed also how there's a lot of color use here. I mean, I know like the red lights or the klaxon or whatever, But it seemed like each of the institutes, maybe they had a different color. I wanted to go back and check it, and I never.
Yeah, I think that just was an aesthetic choice, so you knew they were
Yeah,
different.
no, I don't know that it necessarily means anything.
And plus the language, because if you watch it closed captioning like I do, it will say in Swahili, in Chinese, so you assume these are different institutes.
Yeah. We don't know how far they are, though. I mean,
and also TP apparently bridges language gaps.
Apparently, that's
More of
another
a
thing they
feeling.
did not explain. Yeah, they can somehow understand them. That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about. This is where Kalisha tells them to hold hands because they're trying to unlock that final door, but Avery tells them it's not stuck, it's dead. Like it's because he turned the power off. So there's no getting that steel door open. And of course, Stackhouse is like, yeah, I did it. But then he says this is only temporary. And he asks them, he says, suppose we need to use an unjustly vilified phrase. I don't know that it's unjustly vilified, but phrase final solution. And I mean, obviously that's
why is it only temporary?
No, he's saying temporarily, like that they stop them now, that he wants to make a permanent final solution.
He just wants to knock them out.
Yeah, he wants to kill them for good.
Yeah.
Which that does sound like, Auschwitz and stuff, not good.
Inert.
Yeah, so this guy's like, yeah, let's make him a nerd. He's like, let's just mix up bleach and toilet bowl cleaner, and you can make chlorine gas.
See what happens.
And kill him that way. And then Stackhouse is like, this is just a contingency. And yeah, right. That guy clearly got a little too excited about it. The other guy, he kind of didn't seem enthused, but he didn't.
He's clearly, and Stackhouse is clearly looking up what to say about the chlorine acid later on to Luke because he had no idea about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. He must have.
I gotta Google this.
So he sounded like he knew what he was talking about, even if he didn't.
Yes.
So Sigsbee and Tim are talking, and this is where she's like, I hope you're taking this all in. The earth is going to turn to ash.
Yeah.
And she says, I didn't expect the kids to get it, even mostly the adults, but I expected to understand. She means because he shot a kid to save people. And that is so not the same thing. Like, I understand the connection, but that's not the same thing. And he didn't know.
Tim isn't approaching with the amount of malice that Julia is.
Yeah, like he may have killed one kid to save a bunch of people, but he didn't like maliciously torture the kid to save people. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
And he says, do you know how much evil is done by people in the name of saving the world? Because you do hear that all the time. And he says that he doesn't think that killing a few kids, like she says, is worth it. Because she says these few kids, they died heroes as opposed to dying alongside everybody else and watching them burn. I mean, like, I can understand the idea if they're all going to die anyway, but that doesn't mean that you torture people.
But in like season 2, I mean, if season 2 doesn't just start with no trees and ash everywhere, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I know. That's what she made it sound like, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, it's not worth it. And she's like, you're insane. That's her answer. He's insane. She's like, you got it all wrong. And he's like, I'm glad to disappoint you. He just is like, you're a crazy bitch. It's okay.
Yes.
It's pretty much where that conversation goes. And he takes her out to the police car. And then we flip back again to the tunnel. And Avery says that Luke's trying to tell him something, but he's too far for him to hear him. And he tries contacting Luke. And Luke is getting ready to leave, and then they're going to go to the FBI, but then he gets out.
I have this huge problem. They have 2 police cars. They couldn't send some person to the FBI and the rest to the Institute.
Yes.
Like, Wendy couldn't go and fuddle around on the ground for that flash drive, which is going to be there somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, I agree, but they don't have the evidence. But yeah, maybe they could have went and found the evidence.
I mean, just to have somebody that's alive in case everybody just dies.
No,
to carry it on.
I agree with you. I just wonder that she could have found evidence to take. Like, Luke is the evidence. You know what I mean? But yeah, that probably would have been.
I swear the flash drive's just on the ground of the police station.
It probably is.
They're gonna find it.
They might. Maybe that's where Sigsby got hers. Who knows? Maybe she picked it up.
Because when the chief put it in his pocket, it almost felt like it dropped to the ground and wasn't really in his pocket very well.
Well, that I don't know about, but
Like it was
did
done
seem
on
like they
purpose.
focused on it too long. I do think
Yeah.
they did. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something that'll come up next season. But they're getting ready to leave, and then Luke changes his mind, and he says that he can't get close enough to talk to Avery, but Avery needs to answer the big phone. And again, this is before we even understand what that means. And they
It's like
haven't
Big
explained it.
Pharma.
Yeah, like Big Pharma, call Big Pharma.
Big data, the big phone. I imagine just a giant phone.
I know, like that's what I was envisioning too.
This is a room with a giant phone.
Big phone. So he can't keep this connection. He's not strong enough. Because so he wants to go back. And I don't get this part either, because he tells them that, and he's like, Stackhouse is gonna kill him, and Tim's like, how do you know? Like, what have they been doing all along? They've been trying
He
to
just
kill him.
told them they're murdering kids. Like, kids dead now. What do you not understand?
Like,
other kids going to be dead.
Are you sure? Maybe you're
Is
wrong.
it your telepathy, or is it just like, facts?
Yeah, I was gonna say your brain's telling you that. Wendy doesn't want him to go because it's too dangerous, which I get. It is dangerous, but he knows that they have to save them now, and they have to go. I do really like this scene though. Whenever he says to him that I don't know what the right thing to do is, but I believe you, and I'll do whatever I can to help you to make it happen. I promise. And Wendy says, you can't let him make the call. He's just a kid. And Tim's like, why not? It's the grown-ups that fucked it up. And he's totally right, because all this is because nobody, because of what's happened to them. So
in season two is going to start with Tim and Wendy being married, and they're going to adopt this kid. Maybe all of them. They'll adopt the whole set.
Yeah, maybe it'll be the law. Well, I'm thinking of the Lost Boys. I'm thinking of
well, maybe by sheer luck, maybe one of them have alive parents. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know that all their parents are dead. I mean, Nikki was in the system, so he was like probably doesn't necessarily have parents.
They're gonna adopt him as well, like Lisa and Luke.
Yeah, but I assume the other ones might have parents.
Yeah,
I love that though. On his phone, it's calling Queen. Queen calling.
Yeah.
He has set into his phone. Again, I forgot all about the fact there was this older tech, and I guess that's just when the story takes place. But that again,
that looks like that looks exactly like my first phone.
Yeah, it's a really old phone. Stackhouse talks to them, and
Why did they call him? What did they call him?
Yeah, you'd think it would have made a lot more sense if they just snuck up, right? But I guess maybe
my whole plan is take somebody off to the FBI, probably look around for that flash drive, take another person, and just drop Luke off where Maureen was supposed to meet him.
Yeah.
Then if you want to mess around with Julia, drive her into the Institute or whatever as a diversion.
Yeah.
None of this makes sense. Maybe the book makes more sense out of all this.
I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can think is like he needed to stall him from putting off the chlorine gas because he knew it was coming. And he's like, if you don't kill them, I'll give you me. Which the whole precog thing, he did kind of do what I had said I thought Luke was going to do. Was going to pretend that, he would let himself be taken in. And that's sort of what he said.
What was he precogging?
I don't think he was actually seeing anything other than he knew what he was planning to do.
I thought maybe you saw something I didn't.
Avery, no, but I mean saying that he was a precog. And that was the other thing too. I thought they didn't even know that he was a precog. We had this conversation before that whenever he saw Harry, was his name Harry? That kid kill that other girl or hit her in the head or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
what happened to that guy? I don't even remember what happened to that guy.
I don't know. I think they showed one of the girls being put in the incinerator.
Yeah, but what happened to the other twin? What happened to that guy?
I think they just gorked them. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think they. But I assume
there was no scene.
No, again, there was no scene. But to me, it was not established that the Institute actually knew that Luke was precog. because they never brought it up again. And he could have simply heard them
Mm-hmm.
and knew they were in trouble and heard him yelling. And it could have been a guess. And it was
Mm-hmm.
never established that they knew that's what it was. And I think that's
Yeah.
a problem for me there.
Yeah, because they
Because
only had that one scene. There was
uh-huh,
only one
uh-huh.
scene of PC in this whole thing.
Yes. And there was the whole thing with him and Sigsby, with her, having on her computer about his parents being dead. But the
Yeah.
way he reacted, he would have reacted knowing she was hiding something on the computer screen, whether he knew what it was or not.
Yeah.
So I said it back then, I don't think that proved anything. So yeah, I have a problem with that. I guess you're just supposed to accept that they know it for some reason that we don't
Mhm.
understand.
Well, he
Um,
just knew she was going to mess with him in some way. That's how I would react.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Anybody would react like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be
Yeah.
precog to figure that out. But anyway, he tells Luke about, what he's going to do with the chlorine gas. Like you said, he probably Googled it.
He Googled
Um,
it because he wanted to be terrifying.
yes, yes.
He's like, I
But
better be professional on this call.
yeah, but he knows that Avery or the kids told him about it. And this is where Luke says that he knows that he can't trust him because they're just going to kill him anyway. Excuse me, put him in the chimney. And this is where he says, not necessarily our area of work doesn't require, there is an area of work that doesn't require damaging the subjects. And that's when Luke says, yeah, precognition. And he's like, oh, Sigsby has been talking. But yeah, she never, again, she may have told him about precogs, but didn't really say he was a precog.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, but there's only a couple of them. So you can't think that like all my friends would be candidates. And he says, no, that he's the only precog. So again, somehow they found out. And he says that they treat them like kings or gods, the precogs. And Luke says, so you think if you promise that to me, that I'm going to let you use up my friends?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, if he really turned himself in as a precog, they could make it accommodations because it's so rare and everything. But you know that's bullshit.
And sure, they'll just be truthful with all that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just trust you. You've been so truthful so far,
Fine.
right?
Whatever you want.
But so he's just basically like, don't kill them. I'm coming. You'll if you kill them, you'll see me again on 60 Minutes. And I love though that Wendy's like, it's a trap. And looks like, or I don't know which one, maybe it was Tim, but they're like, yeah, of course it's a trap. But Luke's like, I'm not coming to him, we're coming for him. So yeah, Luke has some kind of plan formed at this point. And they gotta figure out what to do, but that's what they have agreed to do. There's where the Santa trap. Then Hendrix comes in and he's like, is she dead? I love it. He's like, I've never seen anybody sit in her seat before. Like that means she's dead because they took her chair.
Yeah, but he's afraid that his jump rope partner is going to be missing.
She might be. I mean, it seems like they're both still alive by the end, and he hightails it out of their.
Oh, he does. He just looked at it. I appreciate it.
He's like, nope. He's like, I'm not standing.
He's like, see ya, guys.
To be fair, that was probably the smart move.
Yep.
But yeah, they talk about the chlorine, and Stackhouse tells this guy here to ignore anything the kids say. But Hendrix just says, I should be leaving. I should be prepping for them to burn, meaning the team that's going to come and burn everything. But he says that they first have a phone call to make, and this is where they use their yellow phone to call Jeff Fahey, Charlie, whatever you want to call him.
It said the lisping man.
The lisping man, yeah, and I don't think that they said that before tonight. I think that was just in the new one.
Yeah, that was in the captions.
Yeah, yes, I only knew it from the captions too. I'm curious.
I guess they are kind of power outing the battery right here.
They what? Oh yeah, well, it's supposed to be, I think, the emergency lights or whatever. They can feel. They're starting to feel it. I don't know if this feeling it meant feel each other or meant the chlorine. I wasn't entirely sure if they were saying they had already started to drop it, but they clearly didn't start to drop it.
No, they didn't. You see it later coming through the top.
Yeah. So I think it just, they were meaning like they're starting to feel each other, I guess, because I know Nikki and they say they're all in each other's heads. And I guess that makes them more powerful too, with more of them together. But they're talking about, what is the big phone? We don't know what it is. And meanwhile, Luke somehow connects to the other institute. There's and I don't think they said that in English, but that one didn't say
It's
who.
Swahili.
Was that one Swahili? Okay.
Yeah.
I must have gotten it a moment before or after that didn't say it.
Yeah.
But they're talking to Luke. Yeah, they're willing to help. And there they are in the car.
It made me feel like they had one on each continent, it seemed.
Probably at least, yeah. There could be
Yeah.
more in the United States, though, for all we know. I mean, we just don't
Who
know.
knows?
That's why what season
They'll
two
look
is.
at a bigger budget and there'll be even more.
Yeah, then it depends, right?
Yeah.
So Wendy has this conversation with Tim where she asks him what he thought about, like, right before he took that kid's life. And this is where she says, most people believe they wouldn't think twice until it actually happens. But he said, there's before and the after. He didn't really think about it when he did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't something he thought through. It just kind of was a reaction, I guess, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. Which makes it different.
Yeah, it does. But
willingly child abusing,
Yes. I mean, did he make the right decision? Probably. But yeah, it's not the same thing at all.
He had no precogs working for him, so he doesn't know.
Yeah. You are correct. All right. So Hendrix is like, I don't want to be here. And Stackhouse is like, you're here because I'm not letting you out of my sight, which basically means I don't trust you. You're not leaving.
Oh, he's leaving.
Well, he's leaving later, yeah, but right now he's keeping him there. Yeah, maybe he knows he'll run away. That's why he don't trust him.
Yeah.
So Tim gets out of the car, and meanwhile we have whatever you want to call him, Charlie
Lisping man.
With Lisping man, watching a video of what's going down. So see, they have everything on surveillance, and there he is. You can see him a little bit there. So I mean, I think that this part was pretty obvious to me that they were stalling, and that that Luke had already run off. Because yeah, he just is talking to him like you have to Stackhouse wants him to let Sigsbee go, and he's like, no, you do what I want, or Luke's going to shoot Sigsbee. And Stackhouse just wants to talk to Luke. So I think he wants to talk to him to make sure he's there, but Tim is just stalling. And he wants them to offer him something. And so he keeps stalling him. And then this guy calls on the radio and says to Stackhouse that if they move without neutralizing Luke, that Sigsbee will be collateral damage. So basically, if we don't shoot Luke, he's going to kill her, which he completely ignores because he doesn't care. Yep. Right? Like, he doesn't want her alive anyway. He doesn't give a shit. So he completely screws over Tim, as we expected. And they go to the car. Oh, this is where that face is. I swear I had a picture of Wendy, but I don't. They unmask Wendy, and we find out that it is not Luke.
There, you should have put this on the thumbnail.
You're right. Now thinking about it now. I took the pictures after I made the thumbnail with the press photos. But yeah, that's a great picture. He's like, because at first he's like, where's the boy? Like, no. Oh, no, he outsmarted me. This, 14-year-old kid outsmarted me. So Luke is sneaking back in there. He's in Wendy's clothes. And he goes back under the fence. Now, another thing. Why the hell did they not fix the fence after somebody escaped under the fence? Was that not really stupid?
I guess it's not in the budget.
I guess not, because that was my thought. Like, he snuck in the exact way he got out. They had to have known how he got out. They found the scissors nearby.
Yes. I don't know.
Although, to be fair, when they found the scissors, you would think right away they would have noticed the fence was ripped up, but somehow didn't notice it then when he escaped. So, yeah.
You got one guy with a dog running around the perimeter, you're paying him like, $15 an hour. Can't be bothered with this.
Some of them do not have the smarts to work there, that's for sure. They're too complacent about it. They're not worried at all.
I don't know how this place even runs. I mean, apparently not.
I don't know. I don't know how they cannot have had people escape by now because they're doing.
I mean, like I told you in a message, like they don't have any, what if this happens plans? Like they're like Stackhouse is always like, this is impossible. How could this happen? This is impossible. And I'm thinking, don't you have like if this happens plan? Like
Contingency
does
plan,
something
yeah.
affect?
Yeah, I know. Hendrix said about Avery that like they had no proof that it ever happened before. There had been rumors, but if there were
Uh-huh.
rumors, you would have contingency plans because you never
Yes,
know. Like there's
I would
supposed to be
think
so
so.
many. And this is where I hope that it's just because maybe because it's a book and Stephen King does not go deep into like all of the explanations. And hopefully, if we get a season 2, they won't
Yeah.
leave threads like this so much. But you know. So Sigsbee tells Stackhouse that she knows Luke is trying to get close enough to tell Avery about the other Institute sites. And he's like, you told him? And she's like, of course I didn't tell him. Like, dude, he can read minds. Have you forgotten this? Like, how do you think he found out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he obviously got
70
strong.
years of this.
Yeah. And Hendrix says that if he can figure out how to connect to the other sites, he may be able to conduct to all of them, and that would be very bad. And Sigsbee's like, you said that was impossible. And Hendrix is like, well, it shouldn't be, but I told him not to put him in the tank. And then Sigsbee's like, to Stackhouse, you gave him the tank. Like, you idiot, you know? It all kind of falling into place how bad and dumb these people are. And Hendrix is like, drop the gas, because we don't know what'll happen if he conducts that much power. And she's like, if you do that and you kill them, you might as well kill us with them, because yeah, we can't get out of this if you do that.
They're all gonna die anyway because the lady didn't crash in the car, so the apocalypse is coming.
So why should they care, right?
So what does it matter?
Yeah, I know, I agree with you, but that part I think you can't really get around. But they just seem very, very incompetent. But this is where Hendrix, tells her that, because she says we need to, go check what happened so we can talk to, Charlie guy, whatever.
What's in his hand
like,
there?
I don't know. Keys, I think.
Oh, keys. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're the keys.
And it looked weird. It looked like a weird.
It did. I think it's just the way he's holding them. Yeah.
Okay.
But he's like, we already called him, and she's like, you are so fucking stupid. It's pretty much what she said. But she said, how can someone so smart be so stupid? She's like, he's gonna tell him whatever he wants to tell him. And then Hendrix is just like, no, he needs me. They need me. I'm important. And she's got this look like, really? You really think that? And it's just like, this guy is stupid.
But then he did a smart move by just getting the,
like getting on a dodge. Right? Yeah.
He just had a look on his face like, I'm going to go now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to stay around and see what happens.
Yep.
So at least I love that look too. She's like, what's wrong with you? It captured it at a bad moment. Yeah. So Luke is going into the Institute again, and he gets the keys from that lady's body. He does find and get further in. Now this is the part that confused me a little bit, though, because they were going through the tunnels, out through the tunnel. I mean, that was the idea, that they were going through the tunnels to get out, right? There's a way out worse than
yeah, I'm assuming that's what they were doing.
Okay, so they're trying to open the last door that has not been able to be opened because they turned the power off. Yes. So what I don't understand is that after Luke gets through that, unless I misunderstood something, and I know we're not to that yet, but I'm just going to explain now. I'm going to forget otherwise. Yeah. They use all their power to like implode the door, and Luke squeezes his way out. And then eventually they follow him, the couple kids. But what I couldn't figure out is if they were going through the tunnel and trying to go the other direction, how did they end up back where George was? It was like they turned around, I guess, because it was the collapsing, maybe. Because that part to me was a little confusing. Yeah. Like how the hell they even ended back up, because they ended up back where they were. Like, what was the point of breaking the door down if they were just going to go and get George anyway? Like, why not just turn around and go out that way in the first place?
They need a scene. They need a scene.
I don't know. That part was a little confusing.
Yeah, that was confusing. I agree.
So he is trying to communicate with them, and he does tell Avery that they're out there. He knows he can feel them, the other institutes. And then we have okay, wait. First, Luke says to get everyone up, and Avery says when it happens, we have to go fast. And this is when they start saying, when you talk on the big phone. that Luke says he has to open up the connection. And again, we're assuming that means he has to connect to the other institutes, and they're calling that the big phone, but not explaining it.
And there's no big phone, which I'm so disappointed in.
Yeah, I know, that would have been funny, right?
Giant phone.
Yeah. So Sigsbee
Like hard to
calls
put
whoever.
change into this giant phone.
Yeah, I still see like this big, huge, like in the librarians, like when they were drawing the things. That's what I see, like it's this huge cartoon red phone.
Yeah, I see like an old payphone.
Yeah,
Maybe an old
something.
payphone, like you walk into. I don't know. Takes a lot. It takes a lot of change.
I don't think the kids would know how to use a payphone though.
I don't know. The kids would
That's
know
so
what
sad.
changes.
The kids that age of well, but still, kids that age have
It
never
has a
seen things.
rotary dial. They just die because they don't know what to
Yeah, and
do.
he's like, "How do we use this? What is this?" Oh, that's so funny. What was it I seen the other? Oh, I know what I seen today. It made me laugh because I'm saying this now because you're making me think about it. We were
Yeah.
in Cracker Barrel. It's a
Oh, okay.
restaurant, and they have like a bunch
Yeah, I
of.
know what it is.
Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe I didn't know. Maybe they only have it in some states.
It's a
Well, I
chain.
guess it's been in the news everywhere, so they kind of do, don't they? But you know how they
Well,
have
it's a
like
chain.
yeah, well, they have like old stuff, like on display and that. And they
Yeah.
had like a phone. I don't even know what you call it, but the kind that doesn't even have a dialer, like it just has like the earpiece and the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of that when we walked past it. I'm thinking,
Like an
I
old
bet probably
Victorian phone, like a 1900s.
yeah, I guess. I don't know when it's from, but it's before rotary phones. And it's
Mhm.
like you see sometimes in like really, really old movies. And
Mhm.
I know when we walked past it, I was thinking, I wonder how many people in this restaurant, like, because half of them are, kids or young or like young adults or kids. And I'm thinking, like, probably a lot of those people don't even know that's a phone. Like, how many people wouldn't know what it is? I just thought that's so crazy.
Well, I mean, I studied history when I was a kid, so I knew what things were like in the Victorian age and 1700s and stuff like that.
Yeah. I guess I should say they haven't probably seen old
But you say they're in the
phones.
news because they changed their logo to crap.
Yeah, they've been in the news a lot lately, but they
Yeah.
still
Well,
got
I
good
just
food.
remember they changed their logo, and every time somebody changes the logo, I'm like, fuck.
Why do you do that? Just leave your logo the way it is. Don't mess with
It
things.
just looks like crap. They just do it, and then it's just like, why? Why do you have to throw up all over graphic design?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Just
granted, they didn't
why?
change it on the building. The building still
Just
had
even leave
the
the barrel. If you don't want the guy in the
yeah,
overalls, at least leave a barrel. The
yeah,
barrel,
that
just
wouldn't have
leave
been so
the
bad.
barrel.
Yeah,
Barrel with some pickles coming out of it or something. Who knows?
they should
Well,
have
that'd be
hired a better
pickle
graphic
barrel. There had
designer.
to be crackers in it. This is full
Yeah,
of
well,
saltines, everyone.
they could have hired a better graphic designer at any
I mean,
rate.
just the name
I know.
itself is the name itself is kind of funny to me if I think about it too much.
Yeah, it is. If you think you're right, it is. I never really thought
Especially
about
with
what it.
all the guy with overalls sitting next to a barrel.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, it is
Either
funny.
way, they have good food though. I like their
Yeah,
food.
but they're getting rid of
Uh,
all that. They're getting rid of that stuff. That makes
I think they're
this
just
is what I don't like about it is
remodeling.
they're getting rid of everything that's their brand identity, and I don't know if that's gonna be good for them.
I don't know. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I mean, I know that they're rebranding, but I assumed
Yeah.
they were going to have the same food. I hope so. Otherwise, I won't go nowhere. It's good food,
The
but
mac and cheese is
yeah.
pretty good. I don't go very often, or the mac and cheese is pretty good.
Oh, I don't know. I like their stuff, but yeah, if they change
Yeah,
things too
that's what
much,
I liked. I liked their old timey shop, being like kind of steampunky myself. I like that kind of.
yeah, they have all their old stuff on display. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, Doc says, I think 10 episodes would have paced this show better or spending less time in the front half. I agree. And that's why I said earlier, like, yes, if we couldn't have got more episodes, at least take some away from like them in the front at the beginning of the season,
Hmm.
because there was so much that seemed like it dragged compared to the back. Because it seems like they had extra time. It went a little slow, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, out of time.
Hmm.
Like they found out in episode 5 that they didn't have 5 more episodes. They thought they did, and they're like, whoops, and then they just jumped ahead. That's
Yeah.
sure what it feels like. So then we have Sigsbee making this call to whoever's taking care of her dad, and saying to keep him away from the news. She's going to be gone for a while.
Oh,
Now
I thought it
it
was her. I
sounds
thought it was her kid, not her dad.
No, somebody taking care of her dad. I assume it's a caretaker. I guess it could
Oh,
be
I
a
thought it was her
kid.
kid. I thought they were like doing like Julia has a kid and Livestream Man is a grandpa. I thought they were doing that. Like, oh, there's humanity because these people have kids, yet they're abusing other people's kids. So now that's confusing to me because I thought it was a kid and not her dad.
No, she says she talks to someone and says, "Don't put my dad on. Tell him I have to go away
Oh,
for a
okay.
while. Try to keep him away from the news." Yeah, I wondered where you got that from about a kid. I don't think she has a
I
kid.
don't know.
I
I
think
think I just made her have a kid in my own head.
I
Because
guess so because I think
it makes more sense to me, like metaphorically wise, that these people would
it
have
kind of does.
kids.
It kind of does.
You know,
It
and
kind of
maybe her kids with like somebody else, like a broken relationship or something, or you know, maybe
does.
she has a good relationship with the people that adopted him. Now I'm making a whole other story for her, but
Yeah, no, I look. I don't know the point of this. I mean, it sounds like her father has Alzheimer's or dementia or some kind of thing
mhm.
that it makes it sound like he doesn't remember things because she says keep playing on the message I left on his birthday like
Mhm.
so
And I thought
I
it was
don't
a kid, and I thought it was a kid that she didn't see very often, and just play the happy
no
birthday
she says
message
my
for
dad.
him, so he's
Yeah.
happy that his mom's there.
Oh.
See
No,
what
she
missing
talked
a
about his
line
father
does here?
and because she talked about him earlier in the season when she called and was saying
Mhm.
about she was talking to him about her teaching class remember about teaching the
Yeah.
book
Well,
so that
doesn't
was the
mean
same
she doesn't have a secret child.
no she still could um
But it would make more sense if it was a kid with the whole idea that why is she calling her dad who won't remember anyway? Because
I
everything's going to turn to ash.
I kind of took it that she was more like kind of saying goodbye, but she didn't want to talk directly to him. So I don't know. That's how I took it because it's just like
Yeah.
I'm going to be going away for a while, you know. I don't know
I think
what the
it'd be a
point
lot
of it
more
is.
fun if she had a secret kid.
It could, it could,
Writers,
but
if you're
I
listening.
honestly don't know. Otherwise, what I don't know what the point was. Is it to make us feel sympathetic for her? Because I don't think it did that either way. Um, let's
It
see.
would have been
Doc
more
says
sympathetic if it was a kid.
we would have been a little more sympathetic, yeah.
Yeah.
The episode before the finale should have ended with them in the tunnel. We could have used a whole episode with Avery and back half before and leading up to the rebellion would have been better too.
Hmm.
I agree with that. My only question is if they had when they made this not known if they were going to be renewed, which I would think they
Yeah.
could have
Hmm.
made two endings and then changed it.
Oh, I think they
Like,
probably did have two endings and
yeah.
put in the appropriate ending depending on because they did know before, right? They could make
Well,
some edits at the
yeah,
end.
I mean, look, sometimes they say they don't know and that what's filmed is what's filmed. I don't know that
Mhm.
that's always the case,
Yeah.
but I yeah, I agree that that would have been a better ending, but if when they filmed it they truly didn't know, I think that that would
Yeah.
have been a shitty ending if it didn't get renewed.
Hmm.
But it would have been a better ending for getting renewed.
I
I
wish they
totally
would have had Avery communicating with people like the people in the back half that were laying in the beds, you
yeah.
know, or communicated more with the people that were there that were doing the what's the thing, Sparkler Night. You know, like got to know them beforehand. Like just talk to them.
Yeah. The other thing is we still don't exactly know what the sparklers are for. They just said concentrate on the sparklers and they never
It's to give a
explained.
contrast of red on the green background.
Yeah, maybe. No, I know it's in the book
It
though.
looks
Doc
aesthetically
says,
interesting.
yeah, Doc says I think they should have let Avery survive in the show. They could still bring him back next season as a Force Ghost, or maybe he could somehow be saved by TK. As I was saying before, I don't know that he is absolutely dead because they didn't show it. I still wonder the whole thing with Luke lifting the building and what the point of that was. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you kill Avery, one of the better characters, just to save George, who nobody even remembers. So, look, nothing against George, but I kept forgetting about him because they didn't put him
And
in
plus, he
another
just
scene.
interviewed Vigo, and I like him a lot, and I like him to
Yeah,
get work.
I like him too. No, I like Avery. I
Yeah, but
didn't
he
have
died in the
hatred.
book, so you know he was the
Yeah,
hero of the book.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Kimberly's saying I was saying since we did not see him die in the episode, they could technically bring him back. Yes, I agree. Um,
That's what I
I
say
guess.
about Jim and From.
Yeah. I
I didn't
guess
see the
the
body hit
thing
the
is,
ground.
I understand making somebody the hero, but
Hmm.
they don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be a martyr to be a hero. Like he still could have saved everybody and lived, and he
But
still
if
would
you're
have been a
writing
hero.
a book and it has an ending, it's like this child sacrificed for the greater good. And then at the end, Luke's thinking about Avery, that he was a hero.
Yeah, but if you're having a continuation, you could have changed it, and I don't know. There's a lot of issues with this episode. We know that,
I
but
guess that's why when you take a book with an ending and then don't make the ending.
yeah, like, well, then why put the ending in? Like, what was the if you're
Because he
gonna
wrote the
keep
book
doing
like 8 years ago.
right? But I mean, if you're changing the ending, you don't need to keep it. Dogs, and if they
Just
filmed a
rewrite the
different
book.
ending, maybe they cut the epilogue of them all hiding out in a farm, and then the boss dude paying them to visit to poison their minds and threaten them for their silence. Maybe
Hmm.
I don't know. I like I said, I think that where they could go is interesting, but it really depends how they do it and where they go. I'm hoping that once they're not restricted by the book, it'll be even better, and that some of the
It's going to be
problems it
all
had,
ash. Just
it might
ash. No trees.
be.
No hope,
I'm
man.
hoping that part of the reasons of a lot of the problems were just because they were trying to adhere to the book, and they maybe shouldn't have some places.
Well, I wonder
Um,
if it isn't they had to cut back certain scenes or there were budgetary restraints.
some of
Just
it, but some things they
keeping
could have
it
fixed
from.
with like a line,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so
True.
that more seems like not good choices more than
Hmm.
anything to me.
Yeah.
That they chose different to
Just to make it a little bit more clear.
yeah.
Hmm.
Uh yes. If you don't, you know what they say. If you don't see a body, you never know.
Yeah.
Dog can always
Hmm.
bring them back if you don't see them, but we'll have to
But
wait and
even
see.
on drama shows, they can come back. Even if somebody dies and they want to talk to that person's there, and that's like just on regular drama.
Yeah, they could still do
Yeah.
something or have
Yeah.
flashbacks or something. Um,
Flashbacks.
yeah. So this is where they're trying to connect, and Luke's talking about make the sparkler. Then we talk on the big phone, and then this is where it shows
Just
all the different.
like when I hear the lines, I'm like,
It
it's
is.
just
It's so
like
funny.
they're kind of ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I
Be
agree.
the
It's silly.
sparkler.
It is when you think about it that way. I took a good
That's a
photo.
good shot right
Thank you.
there.
I think. But see, it's like reddish, and then like each of them seem. I don't know. It just you look at
I
this
kind of like
one,
this
and
color better than the green. This is
I know.
yellow, I guess.
Theirs is like a yellowish green,
Oh, and they have
and
the
then
vending machine in the back. That's a good thing that they have back there. Because
I
it
don't
has
know,
like
but it's
Chinese characters in it.
Chinese or Japanese, whichever it is. But then they have the blue. These ones speak English, and they
You see,
have.
their vending machine
I just
tells me
think it's
nothing.
interesting that they're all different colors. I don't know if it's just a differentiator or what, but they're all different.
Yeah, it is, because then you'd just be confused. Even more confused. This made sense
Yeah,
to me.
this would make even less sense.
Yeah.
Um, Kimberly
Well, they
agrees
could
that
have
was
7 of them for the continents and be like the rainbow. Like they'd be all different colors.
maybe
And
I don't
random.
know. I just think they could have shown more people or insinuated there was more than three
It could
other.
be budgetary restraints, though. It's MGM Plus. I mean, what's their
Yeah,
budget?
but they
Obviously.
could have showed, and I don't remember who it was that said it. It might have been Kimberly. It might not have, but said like, why not just show a map with like different cities like lighting up, and then you get the point. We don't have to have
Mhm.
people. The big phone makes more sense in the book because they all dream about phones with people speaking in other languages. And the big phone they can't answer until they do it together. All right, this seems to me to be one of those things where I'm putting it up because I don't think it's really a spoiler. I think it's just something that they
Mhm.
explain better in the book. The same
But
thing,
but
like
they could have
I
had
don't
those
understand the
scenes. They
sparkler.
could have had scenes of them dreaming about phones. Was there
I
any
know.
scene about any of these kids dreaming about a phone
No, we're dreaming about other
or
languages.
other
Yeah,
languages?
they don't even explain how they can understand these other languages. It's
Yeah,
just all these
that's
things
the
that are
TP.
missing. Yeah, it comes with TP.
Yep.
Either way, it's a problem. But they say they can help him, and he's like, we can do this. We can break open the door. So they break open the door, and it like the building starts. I guess the building started crumbling. I think because they broke the door. That
A little
part to
bit
me
of
was
yeah.
I was gonna say again wasn't super clear. But the foundation starts cracking everywhere.
Mhm.
Stackhouse is like, drop the gas. We got to get away from these people. And there you can see the gas kind of coming out. But there, the door is open. And see, this is where I'm saying this was the direction they were headed. So I don't understand how they ended up back in the main part of the institute
Getting
if they went.
George.
Yeah, I don't know how they circled
I
around,
don't know.
but
There must have been a
but yeah, I don't know, but maybe it makes a circle. But and they never had to go through in the first place.
yeah.
But Avery, and this is the part that never made sense to me and never made sense to I think anybody, is this is the only one who can keep the connection open. So I can't leave. I have to stay with them and see this through to finish. Now, that to me makes absolutely no sense. They already used the connection. They already opened the door. What does he need to keep it open? Excuse me, keep it open for? And why can't he keep it out while he's walking?
Yeah, why can't they walk and do it at the same time? They can't. It's
Yeah,
like you
I
can't
know. They
pat
can
your
walk.
head and rub your belly at the same time.
Well, they act like those kids can't move, but they've got them up and stood them up and they've walked like a short distance. I feel like they could.
They're all standing up now. They were sitting down before, so they did move.
Yeah, I think this part I have the biggest problem of the whole episode. I think is this part right here.
You know,
But
they could have easily fixed this with the things on their ears, like going dead or something. They could have everything. They could have had stuff on their ears, and as their battery supply goes down, it could have faded out or became a different color.
mhm.
Visually, they wouldn't have to change anything except put a little bit of special effect in there.
Yeah, I also wonder. Well, I guess their things are probably running by battery. I was gonna say they turned off all the power. Maybe they would go off, but they didn't. But yeah, they have to pull Kalisha and Nikki have to pull Luke out because he's trying to stay with Avery and knows what Avery's like. No, it's not up to you. Thanks for being my friends. I loved having friends. That line was kind of like I'm guessing that was from the book, but it was a little cheesy.
It made me feel kind of sad for him. Like, did he not have friends outside
That's
of
what
the
it made it
institute?
seem like. Yeah, it
But I
definitely
don't know
seemed like.
anything about his backstory. I would like to know, but I probably won't know if he's dead.
Yeah, it was really sad. I did not like they killed him. Do not think it made sense. But did they really kill him? I mean, we don't really know. We're saying that we really don't know. But they hightail it out of there. Thankfully, at least they tried. But again, how they ended up where they did is beyond me. Sigsbee is ignoring all the cracking in the walls and looking. Now, see, that's supposed to be her and her father, not her kid. That's her father.
Oh, I thought that was her kid. I thought it was her daughter. This is how
who's
like lost
who's
I was.
The guy? Who's the guy that
I don't know, some like person she jump roped with like 20 years ago.
No, I believe that's supposed to be her in the picture.
I swear, this is like my whole setting was she had a kid because it was a better metaphor.
It makes
it was
more
a better
sense.
metaphor because she's abusing children, but she's saving her own children from the apocalypse, and so is the lisping guy, and it makes so much more sense to me this way. I'm just gonna believe it's this way.
It kind of
I have to believe it.
I don't think this story is that deep. I think that's the problem. We're putting too much into it. So yeah, they run out, and this is where they're like, "Hey, George, come on, we're gonna go."
There's some good color right here. So good. I'm so happy when I see color.
Yeah, I know. It went right back to the color. The thing is again.
Oh, there's a ping pong table they played with off scene, but nobody.
Everybody that we never got to see. I know. I thought of that too.
Well, because nobody wanted to actually, like, when they're in the show, nobody wants to play ping pong because they're all sad.
Yeah, they just play it in between.
But at least it got use outside of that,
I think it's so funny, and I wonder, like, was that actually meant to be part of the scene, or did they bring it in there specifically so they had something to do in between scenes?
I think they were trying to offer them some creature comfort. That's why they're abusing them. It just wasn't working.
But it's funny that the kids used it outside. But yeah, they just run out the front door, back door, whatever. But I mean, they run out the door they normally run out. Now, I was thinking at this point, how did they get away? But I paid attention, and the fence that's over, I don't know if it's in the other picture, but the fence gets collapsed by the building. So they can't get through. But if the fence hadn't got collapsed, like they could have been still stuck there. That's why I don't understand why
stop for the fence.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying I don't understand. The whole point was to break through the tunnels, and they end up back out where they started. Don't get it. But anyway, we have the building collapsing with Stackhouse, and he slides down, and
it's a very cartoony death.
It is, and he it sounds like he's moaning, but I think he's supposed to be dead, but
they're all alive.
I mean, I don't know. Like,
And Julia has a
like I
daughter.
said, though, now like I am become death. I don't know. It just made me think of because
Destroyer Worlds? What, Oppenheimer?
no, just because not because of that, but just because like he played death. I was trying to think of like a quote with death, and that's like what came out.
Played Death where?
In Supernatural or whatever people were
Oh,
saying.
I never watched Supernatural.
No, I didn't watch either, but they were saying he played death. So I was trying to think of something about death.
I see. Because Oppenheimer is interesting.
Yeah, I know that wasn't the best choice, but it was about death. So just go with it and pretend it made sense, okay?
I was confused with Oppenheimer anyway. It had way too much nudity than what I was expecting.
What Oppenheimer did.
Oh yeah, I wasn't expecting
Okay.
all that nudity.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
There's a lot of nudity.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it in that movie either. I
didn't expect it. It was interesting.
Nice. All right, so yeah, she's sitting there as the building collapses, and she is like, I guess, runs out.
Doesn't look like she looks like she's just gonna die.
She does, but apparently at some point she changed her mind. And then we see the building is collapsing. Now, this is the part I don't know that makes total sense to me, but Luke stares at it. He connects with all the other people. He stares at it some more, and then the building lifts up. And I thought he was saving them. Apparently not.
Building that would have made sense if they was doing that to save them. That would have made a lot more sense.
It would have, and I don't know what he was supposed to be doing then, just smashing into people in it. I don't get it at all.
I mean, this would be a different show because Julia would have a kid, and you're thinking you're raising it up to save the children. I think these scenes are better. What we're coming up with is better.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe once it's written by other people, it'll be better.
Because raising it up, I mean, I feel like there has to be a reason, and your reason is sound because you would be lifting it up to like get the kids from the bottom out.
Well, I really thought that's what he was doing. And I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll come running out and like, after they walk away, they'll show them at another angle coming running out, and that's season 2. I don't know. I just don't otherwise understand what the whole purpose of it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, when I saw it the first time, though, it was just him staring at the building. So it was even more confusing. But I finally figured it out because if you watch my interview, I was laughing when I was talking to him because I'm like, I didn't know what to say because I hadn't seen what he actually did. And I'm just like, he knew what I meant, but I don't know what to call it because I really didn't see anything. But before I did the last interview though, I did rewatch it and they had added the effects. So thankfully it made a little more sense later when I watched it. But
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's why a lot of times it's funny to get to see the earlier cuts when you don't have those things. Which
you're basically saying Luke put the final nail in the coffin of his friends by raising the building up and smashing it down upon them.
It makes it seem like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they were going for, but it definitely.
I don't think so. I don't think that's what they thought. Oh, it's lisping man.
Yeah. So then we go to, like you said, what was it? Was it a lisping man?
Lisping man. You know who the actor is? I don't.
Yeah, he's from Lost, but which is
Lost,
probably just because it might just be because Jack Bender knew him from Lost. Maybe that's why he put him in.
That makes sense.
But my issue with this is, what was the point in hiding his identity all season? Because I mean, look, I get that not everybody knew who he was. And like, I knew who he was because of his voice. And if you paid attention on his desk, they showed like a little picture. But, people who don't do what we do.
It was a fun Easter egg for Lost fans.
Yeah. But they kept his identity hidden like it was this big deal. And then at the end, they just show his face.
Yeah, like he was the smoking man from the X-Files.
Yeah, I know. They did show him smoking behind the monitor.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
I thought that was funny. But I guess my point was, like, what was the point of hiding his identity? Like, it wasn't like, oh, it was this character we saw somewhere else, or I just don't understand why they did that. Was it just to make him seem shady? I mean, look, I like Jeff Fahey. I'm glad that he was in there. I just don't understand the hiding his face all season.
Maybe it's for Lost. It was just for Lost fans. That's my only.
I guess, but in my opinion, it wasn't a reveal because I knew it was him the whole time. So it didn't.
Well, maybe other people didn't.
Well, the thing that's even worse is, like, if you didn't know and you hadn't seen it, like they released the photos before the episode came out. Because there's like a photo almost like this on the press site. And I'm like,
they
why is
release
there
way
photos?
too much stuff.
They do. Well, they do that all the time. They did
Yeah.
that. I know Lori and I had this conversation about Dead City. They released a photo of the one character, Herbert, who was supposed to be dead. And then like he showed up and people knew it because they were in the official photos. And it's like, well, it's not a spoiler if you put it in the photos, you dumbass. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I know it's not the same people doing the photos, but it's just kind of funny.
Well, From has a lot of that problem too.
Yeah.
Like plot giving away photos for each episode.
Well, I mean, look, sometimes they do that, but like the photos are embargoed, but these photos are not embargoed. They don't say hold until whenever, because I know some sites will say you don't post this right now. But these never did, because I go on each week to get them for the thumbnails of the YouTube picture. That's why I know, because they take them off, otherwise they don't keep each week. So I've gone on to get them, and I'm like, why are there photos of him already? Because this was like a few days ago. And I'm like, really? But yeah, he's out there playing hide and go seek. I assume with his grandkids. I don't know if they actually.
Yeah, they
say,
said grandpa. They said grandpa in the closed caption.
I assume they're grandkids.
This is like my favorite scene from the whole episode.
It's a cute scene. I just feel like it's missing.
No, I mean, it's not exactly a cute scene, but it shows them that they're protecting their grandkids. And they're like, "You're finally done with work." They don't even know what their granddad does. He does all this horrible
it's okay
stuff.
To kill other kids,
but it's Grandpa Pop to them. It's this Grandpa Pop.
Yeah,
he plays hide and seek with them. He loves them.
It's okay to kill kids as long as they're not your own. I think is kind of the idea. Like they don't care what happens to other people.
And this was really good storytelling. This is good Jack Bender storytelling. I'm just going to say that scene.
Oh, with the kids, yeah.
Yeah, he just shined in there.
Yeah. So there's Luke talking to them, and this is where they make it out, and let's see. Oh, Kalisha says Avery would have, because they're upset that we're assuming dead. And Kalisha says Avery would have been gorked. Maybe he thought he was better off. And Nikki says they would have stripped him. So that's the idea. And then Kalisha's like, okay, now what? And Luke says, Tim will know, I hope. And then he talks to, well, he's the adult. And then he talks to Tim and he's like, I told them you know what to do. And he's like, we got to get out of here, which is the smart thing. Duh.
Yes.
But he's like, before reinforcements arrive. And then where? And he's like, don't worry, I got a plan. And I love Luke's like, no, you don't. Get out of my head. I did like the end. I did think that was cute, the way they're having their little argument about that. And then we have a hitchhiker who it turns out is Sigsbee, who has.
See, she looks pretty good. She doesn't have any cuts, any bruises, any ash.
Bruises on her.
Doesn't have hardly any ash on her either. Those other kids are just full of ash.
Huh. You're right. I hadn't even thought of that.
They're just coated with this stuff, and she just looks like she just like walked out without even.
Yeah, you're right. She does. Yeah, she has a cut on her lip from when Luke punched her, and that's it. But the point is, she has a jump drive. Is that just her like insurance?
Oh, I thought she had a knife. I thought she was going to kill a truck driver.
No, it's a jump drive. See?
Oh, I thought it was a switchblade. My bad.
No,
I'm making the show a lot more interesting than it actually is. I thought she was going to stab him.
You're trying to. I don't know. Luncher from I'll say it eventually is coming, but it's going to be a while yet.
Probably like mid 2026. Did they say? Like May, maybe.
I think early to mid, probably more mid.
Yeah.
We got a ways, Luncher. But we're gonna at some point. We've been talking. We're gonna do our finish our rewatch that we never finished before, that we had taken a break with. We'll start it back up and do live streams for season 2 and 3, leading up to it. So at least you'll have that. But yeah, I don't know what the jump drive is about. I guess it's just insurance in case they capture her. I don't. It doesn't actually say. It made me. I thought about Maureen's jump drive And I
Mhm.
wondered if like maybe it was a copy of that, but I thought that doesn't make sense because
It
if they
would
have her son turn good, I'm out. And I
it
don't
would have
think
been great to have a scene when she was sitting on the dust and dumped something like she's like, I gotta go to the computer and dump all this into a flash drive. Like on the computer, I'm tapping on the computer,
yeah.
getting
Or
stuff
even
done.
just showed
But I
a
thought it was a
file that
knife.
said like, yeah, there could have even just been a file that said like contingency plan or insurance, and it would have
Hmm.
made sense. Like that's all we need.
Insurance, yes.
Um, yeah. It's gonna be done.
The big plan, the big phone,
The big phone.
the
Kimberly
big
said the
plan.
filming is supposed to be done in November. That's the plan. Yeah, it'll probably be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say mid 2026.
Well, it takes
Um,
time to do editing and put special effects and all that jazz.
and we want it to be good. So give them
Yeah,
time.
in order for it to be good, some good editing and some good,
Yeah,
sound design, all that. It takes time.
it does take time. Um, but as for this, yeah, I just like I said, I'm hoping that once it's their show and they're not as restricted, hopefully it'll be better. I did look, I overall liked the show, but it did have a lot of problems,
Hmm.
especially the finale. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, it had some issues, but I mean, I'm
Well, like
still
people in the chat
very
are
close to
saying,
the
there
book.
it could be just little changes that would make it more clear. Very
Hmm.
little, like just slight changes, like the dreaming thing that Dot brought up. If they would
Hmm.
have just dreamed, had a scene where one of the kids or a couple of kids are having these dreams, or they talk about them,
Yeah,
or
that's why I
something
think
like
we
I
need
said with the
more
ear and the
of
battery, if they just their ear things powered down, when they're like, or something that they had on when they were in the battery room, I'll call it, there's something that indicated that their batteries were running low that we could see visually.
yeah. Yeah, I think there were a lot of things like that in this
Hmm.
episode, and I
Yeah,
think that they made it too short. Like I said, it seems like it was slow, and then all of a sudden it's like they realized they ran out of time and raced to the end. And
yeah.
that's the problem. Yeah. Yeah, it's not it wasn't good. It just it lacked explanation of things. And I
Hmm.
don't think that that's a holdover for season 2. I think that's just mistakes that they should have done a little different.
Hmm.
So,
Or maybe it was just a financial restraint and not being able to shoot extra scenes.
yeah, maybe, but I feel like some things really could have been fixed by different wording or something, and
Yeah,
that some of them wouldn't have necessarily needed more filming unless it was more about reshoots and they couldn't do them. I mean, there's that
yeah.
possibility. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, Kimberly, I hope that some of the things they go back. I just question if it's things that already happened, are they going to bother? I don't know.
Yeah. They might just go forward with the story.
It might.
But
With
it's gonna
how
be
they
all ash and no trees.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think they got to figure out how to save the world without killing the kids. I guess
Where they
is.
try to hitchhike and the car that picks them up is that blonde woman that was the back of the car.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be
You're
funny.
welcome, writers. Watch
Yeah.
this.
I think we need to write the show. No, I think those are great ideas. I don't know. Like I said, I know a lot of people didn't want to, like, not a lot of people, but certain people didn't want to see season 2. But I think there's a lot of
Mhm.
potential. I think it just depends where they take it.
Well, there is a lot of potential because there's other institutes. You could almost make it like an anthology series, you know?
It could. It
Like this
could.
is another institute over here, and what are they doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is this somebody investigating all of them? And maybe they do different things. Who knows? And maybe where are the precogs? We could have where are the precogs hanging out?
Or maybe the next season's all a prequel about Annie.
Yeah, maybe that'd be great. Yeah,
That would be great. Yeah, I don't know.
or it's a
Um,
musical.
Kimberly says, I think, what'd you say? It's a musical.
Yeah, I wanted the last. I told you last time. I wanted this last finale to be a musical, and I wanted Tim and Wendy. I wanted it 5 years later, and Tim and Wendy getting married, and that Luke and Nikki are their kids.
You're funny. I think there's more potential now that it'll be creating the story now instead of taking it from the book. I hope so, Kimberly.
Yeah.
My only fear is that some people won't come back for season 2, and I hope that they do and that they give it a
Mm.
chance. Um,
Well, there's some people that really, really like the book too, so I don't think this was up to the book standard, like a lot of things are.
yeah. Well, look, there's a lot of people don't like a lot of the adaptations that have been
Hmm.
done on his stuff. So
Yeah.
I just know, like, I've heard Karen and AJ both say like they don't want a season 2. They're not going to come back for season 2. I think it's
Yeah.
worth the season 2. I've clearly liked it more than they have, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see where it can go. But I do realize there were some things that maybe should have been a little different, especially in the last 2 episodes that were really felt rushed through.
Because it'd be interesting if they went to the FBI, but then the FBI didn't see any trace left of these people. Like they had to find them again.
Yeah, like they already disappeared and got
Yeah.
rid of everything.
Like it could make it a worldwide thing, but it would be interesting. I mean, MGM's budget and everything that we're sending. But
Well, then we don't know. Doc said, I thought it was better than the book, but badly paced. That's interesting.
yeah,
I
I've
never,
heard Doc say this before. Why did you
yeah.
think it was better than the book? Can you be specific, or it's okay if you're not.
Yeah, I'm curious too. And I'm curious because I haven't heard what AJ thought of it yet. I know like before he hadn't seen the end, so he didn't know how they were gonna wrap it up. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously I knew it was gonna be left open, but
Yeah,
I'm kind of curious. I mean, Kimberly read the book, but you started watching it first, so I don't know if that affects
yeah,
the way you felt about it or not, having seen part of it first. I don't know. Yeah, the only thing I can say is to me, it really depends where they go with it. But I think there's potential, and I did enjoy it. I did like the show, even though it had some issues. Doc
yeah.
says the dialogue and characters were better. Excess stuff was cut.
Mhm,
They added more drama and intrigue.
mhm.
Fair enough.
See, I like good dialogue, so
Yeah,
I mean,
some of
I like dialogue, just people telling stories about their lives or something, just so you care about the characters,
the.
or characters bonding over something.
Yeah, we could have maybe
Any of that.
had a little bit more of that. It
Yeah,
also made more sense to have the institute in the same town as Tim. I agree. I think
yeah,
if you're only doing one season, it would have taken forever to get to that point
yeah.
otherwise.
And jumps a train or whatever. Just-
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been forever.
yeah.
I was thinking that I wonder what I would have thought about it if I read the book after, but then I appreciated certain characters more because of the book. There.
Hmm. Which
I don't know.
characters?
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
asking
good question.
her. If you want to put it in
No,
the
I
chat,
know.
yeah, that's
I know
okay
you
if you
are.
don't.
Yeah, which characters can relate? Yeah. I know I'll probably never read it. I'm not gonna say well because I probably won't, but
Mm,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the idea that they're expanding it because Maureen, she said Maureen, because I do
oh,
think
Maureen, yeah.
I do like the universe. I like whether next season is like an anthology or it's about the same kids. I don't know, but
Well, I mean, it's anthology in a way that some of the other characters from the first season could make appearances, but maybe it starts out at another institute. It starts out somewhere,
right, right. Oh,
like with
I'd
some
be
new
okay with
people.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be okay with either, I think. But yeah, I guess it just depends.
and like the other institutes, you don't know if they're doing the same thing or a variant on the same or more.
Maybe their powers are different. Maybe they're not the same three
Oh,
powers. That would be interesting.
oh, that's very X-Men.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like maybe like another institute is like all fire starters and I don't know
Oh,
whatever else there is in his universe.
that it connects the whole universe together, like
It
Stephen King
could,
universe. Yeah,
although I don't know that he would let them do that if he wasn't writing it. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
yeah. Well, maybe he'll be more involved with it than what we think.
Well, he is involved at this point, but how much I
Yeah.
don't know. But yeah, tomorrow, unless I can get it done tonight. I hate to say tonight because I don't know if I can get done tonight, but I will be posting the Jack Bender interview because I did
All
ask
right.
him
Yeah.
about working with Stephen King and about what he thought about people trying to get answers from the show and lots of different things. So yeah, lots of fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I like Jack Bender's style, and
yeah,
like, I mean, I would be curious to know if he had anything to do with the artwork, because he is that,
yeah, that's
he,
why I asked him, and then he pulled it out. So that worked.
nice. Nice.
You'll see.
Because I like his style. I like his aesthetic. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and what
I,
he does, like the kind of slow motion things that he does, the blurry slow motion things I like.
oh, the directing things too. Yeah, I thought you meant the paintings, but yeah, the directing. His directing.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah.
directed quite a bit. So, and he
Yeah.
directed both the pilot of this and the finale. I think he directed
The first 2 episodes and the last 2, I think.
the last two. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, you can tell the difference. I can tell.
Well, yeah, but
It's a certain feel, yeah. It's a certain feeling. A style, I guess.
yeah, they have their own style. All right. Well, anything else we skipped or you want to add or that anybody else wants to add in the chat? If you have any more comments.
Do you need to sleep?
Yeah, I do at some point need to sleep. I do not get enough of that. But yeah,
well, my school year is starting up this week, so it's not like I want to stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning, doing these things.
No, I get that. It's gonna be harder once it starts fall, I guess. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys, AJ and I will be reviewing this tomorrow at 10. And you guys can all join us then. And I don't know, Scarlet, maybe you'll have more things to say then.
Epiphany.
I can always add then. But yeah.
Oh, I want to talk about Julia's daughter because I want her to have a kid now, and I also want her to stab this guy.
Maybe you ought to go right.
I want her to become a truck driver. She stabs the guy as a truck driver, and then she just drives this truck into a truck stop.
I could still see that happening, though.
Yeah.
That part I could see happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody, like I said earlier, if you didn't see my other Institute interviews, the other ones are up. The one with Jack Bender will be up very soon. And we have Wednesday, we're going to be doing a special edition again of Alien Earth, Wednesday at 11. And then we'll be changing days to Thursday after that. I'm like trying to figure it out.
And moving Wednesday to Monday.
Wednesday will be moving till Monday once the second part of the season starts. There'll be like a week break.
The Wednesday TV show, not the Wednesday today that's moving to Monday today.
Right. And that's why it's all listed out in our Discord, which I linked in the chat. So make sure you join that to get our schedule.
It makes more sense of the flow of the shows.
Yeah, because of what days of the week they air. So we're not like a week late on Alien Earth. And then the night that Daryl Dixon premieres, Lori and I will be starting that on Sundays as well. And yeah, hopefully there'll be more good shows on the horizon that we'll want to cover.
Telemasca,
yes, that's coming soon.
Oh yeah.
I hope that's good. I hope it's more like I know you like both of them.
I don't care if it's good or bad because Mayfair Witches was horrible and I loved it.
I was gonna say I hope it's more.
I know
like
you didn't like it, Doc. I know you're in the chat.
No, I hope it's more like Mayfair.
This is horrible. I'm still gonna watch it.
No, I'll still watch it too, but we'll see. But yeah, that's coming up, and like I said, eventually we'll start back up with From and finish our rewatch, and yeah, that'll be fun too. Be nice to get back into that. But all right. Well, I guess that's, unless anybody has anything else or you have anything else, I guess that's about it.
Don't let a building fall on you on your way out, guys. Don't raise up a building to kill your friends. This is bad. This is bad manners.
Yeah, I know. He really was not helping, but who knows? Maybe we'll find out he did help.
Maybe it helped better. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Well,